Oh, hello everybody. It's Jason Up. It's the New 80s Revolution Jr. down here in the cave. I figured I'd bring my bald partner down here to talk about our thoughts about modern wrestling. I mentioned watching Summerslam on a couple of videos ago, and people wanted to know my thoughts on today's product of WWE and AEW and things like that. And I was like, well, I only watch it with one person. So let me invite that one person down here so we can talk about what we think about wrestling. Mm-hmm. So these guys know that I haven't watched wrestling in decades. And a decade is 10 years, by the way. So it's been about 20 plus years since I have watched wrestling consistently. I did check out TNA when it first started. I did watch a little bit of WWE when, like, Hogan came back and he was winning the title. He was beating Triple H and he was beating The Undertaker, and Jeff Hardy was the world champion. And,
I gotta go back and watch those then.
Yeah, there's good stuff. I don't know, when Owen Hart had his accident, I was watching fairly consistently, but that's about it. And it's been a while. Here, let's boost you up here. It's been a while since I've tuned in. But so with you. Uh-huh. Mommy didn't want you watching wrestling for like the longest time, which is just absurd. And so you would watch a little bit down here with me, and then you'd play your wrestling video games, and you would watch all your wrestling music intros.
Yeah.
So like you knew what wrestling was.
Yeah, I knew who Jeff Hardy was, Hulk Hogan, all those guys.
Yeah, you knew who those guys were. And then AEW happened.
Uh-huh.
And we convinced Mommy to let you watch wrestling. Uh-huh. And you and I have been watching AEW from the beginning.
Yeah.
So what do you think about AEW?
I think it's cool.
You like it?
Yeah, because though it's kind of better than WWE, because is it better than WWE or no?
I think so, but I want to know what you think. Stop sliding off my leg.
The matches are cool. AEW had the first stadium stampede because the arena is actually in the Jaguar Stadium.
Right.
So they had a stadium stampede against the Elite, and the Inner Circle going at it.
Elite versus Inner Circle in the stadium stampede.
And then there was another stadium stampede. Inner Circle versus Pinnacle. Yeah. And that was a nice match. Yeah. I never got to saw it because it was on pay-per-view.
Right. Well, I think you've seen some highlights of it.
Yes.
So, yeah, I obviously feel like AEW. So AEW reminds me of something that you've never seen. AEW reminds me of something called Monday Nitro. And you know that like guys like Ric Flair and Chris Jericho and even Rey Mysterio, like they all were on Monday Nitro. Back in like 96, 97, I was big into Nitro. And AEW has that classic wrestling feel, while WWE almost feels like a Hollywood production. Like it's kind of hard for me to explain to you, but I like the wrestling action of AEW.
Yeah.
Who's your favorites in AEW?
Kenny Omega, John Moxley, Orange Cassidy, Chris Jericho.
The whole roster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, except Brett Baker.
Who?
Except Dr. Brett Baker.
Dr. Brett Baker?
Mm-hmm.
DMD? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you, okay, so we watch AEW every week.
Yes.
And now it's on twice a week.
Yes.
Because of Rampage.
Rampage.
Now, what happened on Rampage's second show ever?
Well, they were in Chicago, and CM Punk was in Chicago, and he hasn't wrestled in very, very long
7
time.
years.
7 years. So he came back. He was all excited. He told a story about WWE. It was awesome. It was just great.
Yeah, it was awesome. The crowd was like going nuts, and then there was that one guy crying. They showed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, what I'm enjoying watching it with you is like your excitement about it, like because it reminds me of how excited I used to be about wrestling. So when CM Punk came back, were you like super excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so we enjoy AEW. We enjoy the wrestling figures when we can find them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's great. So I strongly suggest you check out AEW. If you're a Nitro fan, you will enjoy a good Nitro fan. Not 99, 2000, 96, 97. It's great. And Tony Schiavone's there, which is awesome. Then we flip over to WWE. Now, I really have a hard time with the WWE product.
Because there's too much talking in SmackDown and Raw.
So WWE is kind of really difficult to watch. And even their like, you always hear them talking about learning the WWE style. Like when new wrestlers go over to WWE, they have to learn how to be a WWE wrestler. And even their camera work has its own style, and it's horrible. Like AEW has like the hard camera shot, and they keep it there most of the match, kind of like the old televised house shows. WWE's camera work causes seizures. They're constantly zooming in and out, and it's almost like they zoom in when on the impact of a move, right? So they'll do the far shot of the suplex, but then as the suplex is going down, they zoom right in to the wrestler taking the suplex, and then back out again, and then back in again, and it is so bad.
Annoying.
It is so annoying. No, you can't. You got to be up here. It's so annoying. So you don't, and that's how I know that you're not really into it, because now that you can watch wrestling, you don't watch Raw and you don't watch SmackDown.
Well, sometimes I go over on Peacock and do like, oh yeah, when we watch some Royal Rumble, it's from all the way back when Shawn Michaels won by entering number 1.
Yes.
And by the way, 2021 Royal Rumble, Edge won Royal Rumble, entering at number 1. But the crowd did not react the same as they did with Shawn Michaels winning it.
Right. So you're going back and you're watching old Royal Rumbles on Peacock and old SummerSlams and old WrestleManias.
Yeah.
And that's great. You should do that. But but you know about WWE guys through the figures, through your videos that you watch, your entrance music that you watch. So you know who like Baron Corbin is, even if you're not watching WWE.
Yeah.
So
I like Baron Corbin.
Right. Nobody does. So when we you got his haircut. Yeah. When we heard that SummerSlam was coming, and we heard some of the matches, you and I actually got excited about SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, SummerSlam was great.
Yeah, so we tuned into SummerSlam 2021 last week.
But the thing with Peacock is, it didn't. Yeah, you tell this story.
It's terrible. I don't know what decade Peacock is living in, but you cannot pause, rewind, or fast forward pay-per-views. So you need to be sitting there at 7 o'clock when it starts, and you can't get up until midnight when it ends. So that's complaint number 1. Peacock really needs to wake up and get that going, because we couldn't even start the pay-per-view until your brother fell asleep.
Yeah, and the thing is, we missed a women's match and a great tag team match against Matt Riddle with Randy Orton versus
AJ Styles and some giant. Omos or something. Yeah, we missed that. So that's just like a no-brainer. You got to get that fixed. The other thing is the pay-per-view was 5 hours long.
I know.
And you didn't go to bed until like 12:05.
Yep.
Which is absurd for a pay-per-view that you cannot pause or rewind or fast forward. It was just terrible. But the action, the SummerSlam was amazing. We really enjoyed SummerSlam. Let's see. The Usos took on Rey Mysterio and his son, Dominic.
There was an United States title change.
Yeah.
I was surprised about.
Sheamus lost the belt to somebody. Damian Steele or something like that. I don't know. And then Edge.
Edge versus Seth Rollins.
Wasn't that an amazing match?
Oh my god, if you guys watched WWE back long ago with the vampire guy.
The Brood,
and Edge and Christian, he had the theme song going with that.
The Brood theme song, yeah.
And he was just like, oh, the Edge. Then he took the sunglasses off. Then he went into his duck mode. And then his regular.
You think you know me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His theme song.
Yeah, that was huge. So we liked Seth Rollins versus Edge.
Yeah.
We liked, John Cena and Roman Reigns was kind of a weird match because John Cena was really super Hollywoody and just pretending that he didn't know how to wrestle anymore. And
he kept rolling him over.
Yeah, he kept
with
trying to get the
count.
small package for the 2 count.
And he's like,
that wasn't good. But then Brock Lesnar came back.
yeah, we were just.
And we went nuts.
Yeah, I was just going upstairs. Okay, good night, and dent, 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 dent.
And then I looked over at you, and finally your mouth was open, and I think some drool was falling out of your mouth when we saw Brock Lesnar return. So, but what's telling is that we did not tune in to Monday Night Raw last night or Monday night to follow up. I think we're going to be AEW guys.
Yeah.
You're going to watch your wrestling clips, and when you watch Peacock, you can watch your old Royal Rumbles, and maybe we'll watch the WWE pay-per-views because we're following along long enough.
Yeah, I want to watch Extreme Rules.
Yeah, we'll watch Extreme Rules. So that's our thoughts on modern wrestling. Love the AEW, love the WWE pay-per-views. I think gonna kind of read about WWE and follow along a little bit, and watch Extreme Rules, and then we'll get all the figures that we can possibly find.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's that. Do you want to say goodbye?
Yeah. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay.